Hello and welcome back to The Real Deal. Today we have got two games for you. You've got Manchester United in the Champions League and then Real Betis in La Liga. Since we were last here, things have continued to go on a pretty good trend. Things in the last few games have sort of slipped a little bit. We'll talk about that in a moment's time. But things have been going pretty well. We're still top of the table. We're still looking pretty good for qualification. In fact, we have qualified for my Champions League group. I'll tell you that now for free. So let's go and dive into the results since you were last here to see how we've done that basically. So last time you were here for the Roma game and the Atletico Madrid game. 2 wins there that were very, very nice. We then went straight into the Getafe game in the Spanish Cup. A 2-1 win there, which you've got to say was relatively unconvincing considering how good we've been so far this season. In Getafe aren't as good as us basically. So a 2-1 win there was a little bit annoying. I thought we'd do a bit better than that. We still won though, so it wasn't too bad of an issue. Next up, we played Tenerife in the league at home. A 4-0 win. Dad, Handanovic with a brace and Luka Adic sealing out the goals there, which was pretty nice stuff. And then we had Roma in the Champions League. Luka Adic with an 89th minute penalty being the goal there to make sure we've got the 3 points in that game. And they were very, very crucial 3 points. We left it late once again against Seville away from home. Luka Adic in the 83rd minute and Hans Osmanovic in the 92nd minute secured another 2-0 win there and another clean sheet for us, which is fantastic stuff. Kept us high on confidence as we went into the Barcelona game with Hans Osmanovic scoring a hat-trick. Fabinho scoring the goal for Barcelona there, but Barcelona not having a good season really, and it's sort of reflected in that result there where we've beaten them 3-1. Next up, we travelled to Porto to play Porto in the Champions League and unfortunately lost that game 1-0. Hans Osmanovic picked up an injury that's left him. He's still out actually at the moment. He's still out. Jeroen Harbour also picked up an injury there. We'll talk about injuries in a moment. There have been quite a few of them in recent weeks, which I think is why we've not done so well, because after that Porto game, we played Eibar, who was sitting 19th in the table. A 1-1 draw there was really, really poor. Berkey Erza picked up an injury there. Jeroen Harbour picking up another slight injury there, which wasn't great for us. Luka Adic has also had injuries, which is why Meza was playing essentially. That's why Meza had the goal there. He's been playing quite a bit recently because of Adic's injuries. We managed to secure qualification to the 5th round of the Spanish Cup by beating Getafe 1-0 in the other leg of the game. So 3-1 on aggregate there. Not the most convincing scoreline, but we have won it, which is all right, I suppose. And then last time out, our first loss of the league season, a 3-2 loss to Vigo, which was very upsetting, especially when they scored in the 91st minute to make sure they won it. So that was really frustrating, that Leonardo Meza getting injured in that game. So we don't really have a left winger at the moment who's fit enough to play, which is a little bit annoying. So I know there's quite a lot of results to go through there, but it's basically been all green until the past 4 games where we've been a little bit off the pace, really. So hopefully we can rectify that today. Speaking of injuries and stuff then, currently Meza, Lemos and Osmanovic are out with injuries. I don't expect any of them to appear in today's episode, unfortunately. Harbo's just come back from injury, as has Luka Adic. They won't play in this game against Manchester United because they've just picked up, or they just got back from injuries within the last day or so. So they're not fit enough to play, essentially. Due to the injuries sustained, we have had to rotate players quite a bit as well. So there's quite a few tired-looking faces out there. Orsolini is very... I mean, we did forget to rest players after last game as well. Which is the issue. We played the Vigo game 2 days ago and did forget to rest them. So that's why there's a lot of tired faces out there. And Paolo Chiron, which I've been saying wrong apparently. It's like Skirone, I think is actually how I meant to say it. But I'm never going to be able to remember that. So I think Chiron is just the way we have to do it for this season. So quite a few tired faces out there. But it doesn't matter too much because I will show you the table and the Champions League group in a moment. We've already qualified from a Champions League group. So today's game against Manchester United it doesn't really matter too much. So we'll look at the Spanish First Division first of all. We're 5 points clear of Real Madrid. We've won 12, drawn 1 and lost 1. Of course, the loss to Vigo and the draw to Eibar haven't been great. Hopefully we can pick that up today with the win against Betis, who are doing quite well. They're in 5th in the table right now, so they could beat us. I mean, Vigo are doing quite well and they beat us, so it's swings and roundabouts there. As you can see from our Champions League group, things are looking pretty good for us. We've already qualified alongside Man United. We can't overtake Man United, but we have qualified 2nd in the group, which is good. Usually, well, it's because of the results going our way, essentially. If you look at this, obviously, you were here last time for the Roma game. In the 2 games since then, Man United beat Porto, which meant that they couldn't really overtake us. And then, of course, Man United drew with Roma actually that time when we lost to Porto. So although Porto beat us, they couldn't catch us up because we were too far ahead in that place. And Man United and Roma drawing meant that they couldn't catch us up either. The Champions League group has been pretty kind to us. Results have been pretty kind to us. So we have done pretty well in securing qualification for the first time from the group stages. This is the first time we've got through them in the past 2 seasons. So I'm quite excited to see what holds or what awaits us in the knockout stages. So I appreciate all that was a bit convoluted and there's a lot of information to take in there. So basically, we've won all our games apart from like 1 or 2 towards the end of the little in-between session. Still top of the league. We've qualified from the Champions League group. This game's just sort of like an exhibition match, basically. And It gives us a chance to rest a lot of players that just haven't been rested recently because of the injuries and having to play quite a lot. So we are going for this weird formation. I mean, we're going to lose to Man United. I'm expecting to lose to Man United, but it's probably worth trying to experiment with a slightly different formation. So Burke starts in goal with a backline of Sanchez, Babic and Vazquez. Cano and Ruiz start as the wing-backs. Dad, Cordero and Cardia come into that midfield. Cordero is the youngster that we brought in from Real Madrid for £1 million. I don't think you've seen him in an episode yet. And actually, I don't know if I've played him a little bit, but not much. So he's going to have a game to shine here today. Hopefully he's going to show us what he's all about. Sousa in that attacking midfield position and Nacho starting up front because, of course, Hans Osmanovic is injured again for another 2 weeks. So unfortunately, Hans won't even be in this episode, which is frustrating. Right then, well, kickoff is upon us here today. We're at home against Manchester United. Last time we played them, you weren't here for it, but we lost 2-0 away from home. We played quite an attacking formation that game. We don't have the players to play in our attacking formation today due to injuries and tiredness and lack of fitness. So we are playing this slightly more defensive formation, which is working really well so far as Moise Kean goes and scores in the 5th minute of the game. Again, this game doesn't matter to me. I thought it would matter more, actually. I thought it would be a lot closer in the group. I thought it would actually come down to the last game of the group stage, which is why I wanted to do this game why I wanted to do this game this episode, the Man United game. I did think we may struggle a little bit more against Porto and Roma. I suppose we did. We lost to Porto but beat Roma, but I suppose the results that they had themselves weren't very good, and it basically just handed us the second place in the group. So I'm not complaining because I want to be in the Champions League still, but I did expect it to be a little bit more exciting than this. And I did want this game to be a bit more exciting, but as you can see from the clock and the lack of highlights in this first half, it's not been that entertaining, has it? Even from a neutral perspective, it's not been very entertaining. A lapse in concentration, I assume, in those opening 5 minutes led to that Man United goal. Since then, it seems to have been pretty even. Man United are always going to be the team on top. They've been very, very good. But we're still in it. We're holding them into 5 shots. We've had 3 shots. It's a comfortable game. There's nothing to play for, so I suppose both teams aren't particularly going for it. That's probably what the mentality of the players are, at least. I suppose it's also my mentality as well with the lineup. I could have picked all those players that are really tired, but I may as well save them for the league game when we need to win the league games. This game is just, it's an exhibition match, that I've said. The league games are where it matters. We're still 5 points ahead of Real Madrid, but that could all change in 2 games. If we lose 2 games, they win them, they're ahead of us by 2 points, or a point rather. So it's something that can change very quickly, and we need to really be switched on in the league and keep our players fit for it. Still no highlights in the second half either, but the stats have gone a lot more in Manchester United's favour. So I think we do need to change something out there to try and grab something a little bit extra in this game. I think what I will do actually is switch to back to this formation. Now Nacho has to stay up front, but I believe that Cardia can actually sort of go in that. Well, I say that. He can't really. He can sort of be a winger on support slightly, Cardia. Sousa is going to have to swap with Babic. Babic is going to have to come off the pitch. Sousa is going to go there in that attacking midfield position. Pelaez is going to come on for Cordero as a winger on support as well on that right-hand side of the pitch. And then Babic has got to come off for a player that's going to be very, very tired, which probably isn't the best idea. Or does Cordero have to actually come off the pitch? Or am I being silly here? And it's actually Cordero who's quite good on that left wing, or better. Okay, Cordero's slightly better there. Cardia can actually come back into that midfield then. This is what I meant to do. I'm getting confused with Cordero and Cardia. I mean, it's confusing for me, and I've been playing with them for, 12, 15, 20 games or so this season. You've seen 3 episodes so far. I don't know how it must be confusing for you as well with Cordero, Cardia, these new guys in midfield. But Babic will come off the pitch, of course, for players. So we have to make the one change, actually, to personnel on the pitch. And it means that the players that need to have the rest will get the rest. Potentially a chance for us now as Nacho is through on goal. Brought down outside the area. And Lindolf has been given a straight red card. Is there going to be a highlight from this free kick? Dad's free kick caught by De Gea. So okay, it wasn't too exciting. Actually, we need to go fluid. If we go fluid for these final few moments, perhaps we could just sneak in there, grab a goal. Although, I mean, Man United made changes to cover at the back to make sure we don't lose today's game. Although there is a highlight. Looks like it's coming towards Martial, though, actually, for Manchester United. As he comes forward, gets past 2 tackles of Vazquez, gets out onto the left wing, skips past his man into their number 7, who shoots, passes it back to Martial. Martial should have finished that off, really. That would have been an incredible move. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get anything out of this game. It's not too bad. As I said before, we've already qualified, so it's kind of okay. As that was a risky header back from Fosu Mensah. Is that Fosu Mensah? Yeah, from Fosu Mensah to De Gea. Nacho was nearly in there to get on the end of that. But unfortunately, as the clock ticks down with 20 seconds, 30 seconds to go, I really don't think there's going to be anything in this forward. Although Nacho, on the edge of the area, can get the... Oh, I thought he was going to get the cross into our man in the middle, Dad, but it didn't work out, obviously. And there we go. Manchester United win 1-0 on the night. Actually, you would say they thoroughly deserved that. They did deserve to win that game. They were the better team in terms of shots and everything like that. It doesn't change the fact, though, that we have qualified from our group. Now, I'm not sure when the group stage... Oh, we suppose we've got to wait for tomorrow's results to come through, because obviously we play on a Tuesday. There's more Champions League games on the Wednesday. Then we'll probably find out when the draw for the knockout stages will be, and I'll let you know, and then we can work around that. In the meantime, though, of course, we'll rest our players. We've got 5 days off, actually, until the Real Betis game. That's a bit more than usual after European night, but I will rest the players anyway, just because, by looks of things, a lot of them need it. I would just say there, actually, Champions League first knockout round draw is just after the Betis game. So we'll play that Betis game, and then we'll do the Champions League draw. So this news item has just come through. Apparently, we're going to land, or try and sign, Romelu Lukaku. I don't know where this has even come from. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know where this has come from. But to be fair, if we get Lukaku for 14 million, how good is he? That's what I want to know. Is he any good? I mean, no. I mean, he's not as good as Hans Osmanovic, and he's on par with Bernardo Sousa, who's not even a striker. So, I'll be honest with you, for £115,000 to £180,000 per week and £13 million, I don't think this is worth it. Although it would be cool to have Lukaku playing for Oviedo. Right, so we're going to change things back again to a more familiar lineup and setup for this game against Real Betis. We're going back to the attacking formation that we usually go for. So Berkeyzer starts in goal. The back line is a bit more back to normal as well. Cucurella comes in back again after he was out for a rest, basically. Sharon comes back into that centre of defence. He's going to partner Babic today, who has been playing quite well recently onto grounds that Lemos has been out for a little bit of a while. Hans Osmanovic is nearly back, but not fit enough for today's game. He's not going to play. And Ruiz starts as right back. Harbo comes back into that CDM role with Dad and Cardia just ahead of him in the more central midfield roles. Adic is now back on the left. Orsley is now back on the right, but Nacho is going to be staying up front, at least for the next 2 or 3 games, I think, whilst Hans Osmanovic gets fit again. It says he's back to full training in 6 days. We've got another game in like 4 or 5 days, so he'll miss that one. He'll probably miss the next one as he gets back to fitness, so maybe in 3 games' time we'll see him again. Hopefully he's not out for too long, though, because like he is such a good player. And I genuinely feel like the reason we lost... Perhaps, well, not the sole reason we lost the game against Vigo and drew with Eibar, but a big part of that was because we didn't have Hans Osmanovic on the pitch, who just scores. He's a goal machine. I think missing him is missing an integral part of how his Oviedo side play. Now I've said that, you can literally guarantee that he's going to get a 6-month injury in the next episode or something like that. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But kickoff is once again upon us. We're away to Betis today, down in Seville. Obviously Real Betis play in Seville, of course. We're down there right now as an early chance for them doesn't really come to fruition. Goes out for a corner, actually, apparently there. But hopefully nothing comes of it. Although there is a highlight continuing from the corner comes in. Cleared, though, but only as far as Gerard Deulofeu, who obviously is known to everyone in England because he used to play for Everton for a little while. Nacho now on the ball, and that's the end of the highlight. So there wasn't really too much of a danger there. I'm not quite sure why that was a highlight. Corner for us now as Adic puts it in clear there, but only as far as Harbo, who we know can hit it from that kind of distance. Blocked that time. The cross once again coming in from Adic. Gets rid of it once again, do the Betis defence. Although it's been cleared by them for a second time now. And again, it comes back to them. Babic now on the ball. Sharon in towards Orsolini, who can get the ball out to Cardia. Cardia into Nacho on the edge of the area, looking for the cross in. It goes in the back of the net. An own goal from Alberto. Took a massive, massive deflection there. If it didn't hit Alberto, I think it would have been cleared easily once again. So very, very unlucky for Alberto there and Real Betis. But good stuff for us because we now are 1-0 up in this game and we need to win this game to keep our 5-point gap with Real Madrid. And I just had a bit of a lisp there and it said 5, not 5. And now we've just nearly scored another one. This is all going crazy right now. The thing you find when you make videos, especially when you edit them as well and you listen back to yourself, you mispronounce so many words. And I think for me it's because I'm looking at one thing, trying to say another thing, and trying to be entertaining as well. So I'm sort of doing 3 things at once. And just sometimes words get mixed up and they just come out in a really weird way. Like whatever I just said then, I can't remember what it was now. But sometimes I'm sitting editing and I literally, I'll delete, I don't know, like a minute of me talking. Because I don't notice it when I'm talking myself. Like right now, I wouldn't notice it. But when I look back in editing, I'm trying to pronounce things. I just say it completely wrong. And I don't know how I get it so wrong and don't even notice it as Cardia comes very close there. So there you go. That's a little bit of an insight into how I edit and what gets deleted and what doesn't get deleted. That won't get deleted. Dominiso Cardia with the goal there from the corner, making it 2-0 to us now. So it looks like we're having a very good first half. Hopefully this result will stay as it is for the rest of the game. Hopefully we're going to pick up the 3 points. Hopefully Betis won't come back into it and beat us in the second half, because I would think about rage quitting if that happened. Betis trying to build from the back though towards the end of his first half, trying to get something out of the game. The goalkeeper clears the ball, but it doesn't go very far, because now Luka Adic is on the ball, crosses the ball over towards Orsolini, who gets it out to Cardia, who can put it back to Orsolini in a lovely 1-2 manoeuvre there. Nacho just waiting on the edge of a 6-yard box. Orsolini puts the ball behind the defender, right on a plate for Nacho, and just before half time we go 3-0 up. Wonderful. Although it could be 3-1 now as the cross comes in. Gerard Deulofeu puts it back towards his man down. It is 3-1. A very quick reply there from Betis. But of course, we've still got that 2-goal cushion, so it's all looking pretty nice. It could look nicer, actually. This highlight from kickoff. It looks like it's going towards us in our favour as Nacho puts it into Adic, who's in behind the defence, can put it straight across to Orsolini. And an even quicker response to them scoring from when they responded to us scoring. We've made it 4-1 again, and already that 3-goal cushion has been restored. Wonderful stuff again. Well, I'd like to argue that we have been slightly dominant in the stats. I think we do deserve our... okay, I didn't get to make the team talk there. Not quite sure why it just zoomed through. It must have accidentally clicked twice or something like that. I don't know. But hopefully today, this win... Obviously, it looks like we're going to be beating Real Betis. Hopefully, it's going to take us out of our little bad form slump that we've been in with the loss to Man United, the loss to Vigo, the draw to Eibar. I mean... Obviously, in a normal season, you'd be like, oh, that's probably just a bit of normal form. But the way we've been playing this year, only conceded... this is our 8th goal that we've conceded in the league so far this season in 15 games. That's miraculous, I think, personally. Considering the form for the whole season, the form we've been in the last 5 games has been abysmal. So hopefully today, we get out of that. The win today will do us some good. We'll start to win games again, and we'll just continue to extend our lead at the top of the table. We're doing fantastically well. Again, it's only Real Madrid challenging us right now. I may have pointed out earlier, and I can't remember or not, but Barcelona not doing so well, Atletico Madrid not doing so well in 6th and 7th respectively. I mean, they're just out of it. I don't know what's gone wrong with them, but they're just not very competitive now. Well, this has been a very uneventful second half. Literally no highlights, I don't think. It may have been one or... In fact, looking at the top thing, I don't think there actually has been a single highlight in the second half. Maybe that one, but that might have been the start of the second half. The game's coming to a close now. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. And potentially another goal in it, because usually the ending highlight is about 30 seconds or so to go. So there could be a chance now for one of the two sides with 2 minutes or so to go. It looks like it's going to be Betis as Gerard Deulofeu gets into the box, puts it onto the head of his striker, who puts it over the bar. And that was the last bit of action of the game. I'm not quite sure why Adic just threw it like that. I don't know what happened there. Adic took the throw, but seemed to just throw it straight out the pitch again, which is very confusing. But as the clock ticks down, there's not a chance that Betis are going to get back into this game and take the points off us. We pick up the 3 points today. It's all over here. We stay 5 points clear at the top of the table. It's really, really good. I mean, this season is turning out to be spectacular. Of course, we've got the Champions League draw. It doesn't say it anymore there, but we do have it tomorrow. So we're going to skip forward to that, do that draw, and then we'll end the episode. And here is said draw. Of course, it is seeded in this. So, of course, the teams that finished top of their group get to play the teams that finish second in the group. So we have a chance to play either AC Milan, AS Monaco, Chelsea, Dortmund, Man United. We didn't play Man United because we had them in our group, didn't we, actually? Marseille, PSG, or Real Madrid. So out of those teams, I'd quite fancy playing Dortmund, Marseille, or AC Milan. They'd be my top 3 picks, I think. Other team, maybe Real Madrid, to be fair, because we're doing pretty well so far this season in La Liga. They're behind us in the league, so maybe that'll do us a favour, I don't know. But we'll draw this out then. So we're not playing Man United, of course. We're not playing Real Madrid. We're not playing Chelsea. We're not playing AC Milan. It looks like, okay, it's us. And we actually, to be fair, I wanted Monaco. Did I say I wanted Monaco? No, I said I wanted AC Milan. So Marseille or Dortmund, we've got a 50% chance of getting one of those two sides. Who are we going to get? Paris. Okay, Paris Saint-Germain, who beat us 4-0 earlier on in the season. So, okay, this could be tough. Right, so it's actually quite a while until the PSG game, and I don't really want to play all these games in one go, then do that. It's also a bit like, you know, it seems a bit weird doing all of those games in one. You miss out on a lot of stuff as well if that happens. So, next episode then, we're going to do Espanyol and Las Palmas, and after that, we'll do the PSG game. Obviously, there's not a huge amount of time left until we have FM19 come out. And I want to finish this season before the beta comes out. So we may have to move fairly quickly through games after that, and we may have to do a few double upload sort of things to get things out of the way. So look forward to that kind of stuff. You know, you may have a double upload day, which would be fantastic. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it, seeing us stay at the top of the table and progressing through our Champions League group for the first time and the last time as well, and probably not getting any further than the first qualifying round because we're playing PSG. But it's been a good episode, and I've really enjoyed it. So if you have enjoyed it yourself, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time for some more Real Deal action.